The best way to fight the procrastination.
To pretend like you believe in yourself.
What is the outcome? What is the next action?
Fake it till you make it.
Eat a live frog first thing in the morning. All right, let's begin. So, from all the discussions that we've had, we've all been there, staring at the task list, knowing what we should be doing, and still, scrolling Instagram, watching Netflix, or just putting off the task that you're supposed to do. Procrastination is not about laziness, is what I've found. It's like a psychological loop which is tied to fear, to perfectionism, or even lack of clarity. It's a stress response. In preparation for this particular talk, I was reading an article by Dr. Timothy Cycle, and he's been studying procrastination for the last 20 years. And according to him, he defines procrastination as a subconscious desire to feel good right now. So, the fact that you're avoiding stress, your brain is asking you to avoid stress, and procrastination is your attempt to feel better in this moment. Because what happens when you're stressed? Your body triggers the fight or flight response. There's one more response that your body triggers, and I'm sure all of you will be able to relate to it. Is the freeze. Like a deer in headlights, it just freezes. It doesn't know what to do. So your body is almost being paralyzed by stress in that moment. Your brain tries to protect you. You feel paralyzed. And procrastination is a form of freezing in that moment. That's why you're blowing off the work that you're supposed to do, right? Then, because you've blown off your work by scrolling on social media for 2 hours, you get behind and then you feel more stressed. So it's a vicious cycle. And the biggest thing that I learned is the first thing that you need to do is stop labeling yourself as a procrastinator. Because when you do that, it becomes a part of your identity, right? You have a habit of procrastinating. Procrastination is not a personality trait, even if it's chronic procrastination. It just means that the stress in your life is also very chronic. Okay. There's different kinds of and types of procrastination that we go through, but in this podcast, we are going to go beyond theory. And our panelists today will share their personal stories, their setbacks, and breakthroughs in overcoming procrastination. I will be trying my best to offer frameworks that have helped hundreds of my students take action in life and their work. And I'm Anika Datta, and this is the Experiential Life Lessons podcast. Let's get started with Mr. Krishnamurthy here and talk to him about a specific moment when procrastination held him back and how did he overcome it.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. So, I come from an IT background, so with almost 2.5 decades of experience. And as we grow up, as you know, the pyramid gets narrower and narrower. While you sit on the top, you feel more lonely than ever, especially when the stress keeps building up on you. You try to find friends to fall back on, but you can't. There are things where you can't share with anybody, but you have to believe yourself to fight for procrastination. So, as you know, we hear a lot about toxic relationships, be in personal life or in the corporate lives and all that. So, what are these toxic relationships? These are the external forces which build on us to make you self-doubt yourself. And that's where the procrastination starts seeping in. Because at that moment, the person who you are fighting with is you yourself. You need to start believing yourself, because if you have come this far, there is something in you which has brought you this far. Instead, what we all do is we self-doubt ourselves, and we are just adding to that stress what the external world has already given it to you. You are just adding yourself instead of fighting against it. You are just kind of adding to yourself to your further stress. And that makes you either to freeze or to flight.
Absolutely. Very well said.
So
And
it's the moment where you start believing yourself, understand your strengths. It is not about how much of time that you are giving to or the effort that you're putting in. Focus on what's the outcome or the value that you can generate. And as you are focused on that, you definitely will overcome this, and the results definitely don't lie. It speaks volumes. I think that's the best way to fight the procrastination. And this is through my personal experience I'm sharing it. Thank you, guys.
wonderful. And I think the biggest key to be able to believe in yourself when you don't, in fact, believe in yourself, when you're riddled with self doubt, is to pretend like you believe in yourself, to work like you believe in yourself. And then ultimately, with enough practice, you will start believing in yourself. And I think that's the biggest key.
Yes,
Dr.
as it is said, fake it till you make it.
Absolutely. I'm a strong believer in that. Okay, Dr. Sivasankari, can you tell us about your personal experience? How did you overcome procrastination?
Thank you, Anika. So, with my 2 decades of experience in mechanical engineering, the title Dr. Sivashankari, it really came from IIT Madras when I was doing parallel with corporate job. I was doing my doctoral degree. So, MS and PhD, it is 8.5 years journey. So, every full day attending the global meeting up to 9 p.m., I have to be available for the office. But the night to early mornings, I have to be available for the research. So it's a very intense career and living a true life in a smaller time. The thing
Mhm.
what really helped for me, I really take the bigger task into small split work. And at the end of every hours, whatever I spend, I write what is the outcome, what is the next action, because it serves as a pointer for next day. Today I will be in corporate, I will be doing the same, and next day when I go for a academics, I really need to know where I have stopped and where I have to start. Because if that starting itself is a challenge, it takes a lot of time and energy and efforts. So, this is the best thing. Definitely, it will work for anybody. Breaking into the small
Especially when
tasks.
you're,
Yeah,
yeah. I think especially when you're juggling so many things and so many important things, it's so important to be organized, right? And when you break these tasks into smaller steps, you reduce that overwhelming feeling by
exactly.
chunking those tasks together. And that I think would really make bigger projects less intimidating, right? So that's an actionable takeaway for our viewers, which is you write down a big task and then you divide it and chunk it into 3 to 5 smaller steps or smaller pieces that you can start to work on today itself.
And as you rightly said, for organizing, we should equip ourselves with the tool. For example, I always carry a tab with the pen. So I really carry everything and I use the tool which has been helping for organizing it. So,
Wow.
so use the equipments to get it organized for ourselves. You
That's
rightly got the
wonderful.
point.
Yeah, and that actually speaks to then, the kind of level that you're at because you're so organized that you're carrying a notebook and pen with you. Anything that you need to jot down, any ideas that come to your head, any tasks that you remember you need to do, it's all in writing. I think that's an ingenious idea. And I think even when you're tackling those tasks and breaking them down into smaller chunks, you also have to prioritize in that same moment. We call it eating the frog. Mark Twain, he came up with this
Yeah.
concept and he said, eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and then nothing worse will happen all day. So prioritize the toughest task, do that in the morning, and your entire day will be stress free. Then you're focusing on smaller tasks that don't overwhelm you or stress you out too much. Then it gives you no reason to blow away those tasks. So eat the frog. Okay. Wonderful. I would love to hear Sijo.
Yeah, thanks,
Sijo, my friend,
Anika.
go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Anika, for this opportunity. So I will also like to share one of the experience from my personal life. So I love gardening, but whenever you want to do it, I used to procrastinate. And then I thought about why am I doing it, right? So one of the reason that I see is because yeah, you need to spend too much time, and it's always easy to push it so that you can do something else. And the other way is always like look at the value of doing it or the consequence of not doing it. So value is basically you always have a lovely garden, you get positivity, And the consequence is, if you don't do it, weeds grow, and then you always feel bad that you're not doing it. So the way I thought of getting over it is basically, like we also discussed, one is breaking down, right? Rather than keeping it and procrastinating it, like let me do it on the weekend. And when the weekend comes, there are a lot of things to do, and then you cannot handle it. But break it down, then you can do at least something every day. That way you have that positivity that, okay, I did something, I feel happy about it. And the other way is also setting some time or linking into your existing habit. So for example, I say, okay, let me do at least 15-20 minutes every day after my exercise. So that becomes a practice, that after exercise I go there, I cool down, I spend some time, so I'm able to do something, and put some urgency so that I can get most things done in the limited time, because I know I only have 15 minutes. So these are the ways where I found it very interesting, and I found additional motivation on top of it. By doing gardening, I'm getting some physical exercise, and I'm getting some sunlight and vitamin D. So it adds a lot of motivation. So now I'm motivated every day to do it. So I'm feeling very happy. So yeah, that's how I did it.
That's wonderful. Having a little timer, setting clear deadlines, and definitely reminding yourself of the consequences of you not doing that task. Especially when, all of you are in at a very high level in your organizations, and the consequences can really be dire. They can be a lot, right? So reminding yourselves of the consequences is very, very important. I can share my own experience. I think about a year and a half ago, my husband had already been going to the gym. He had gotten that self motivation very nicely. And I was finding it really hard. Every day when I'd see him go to the gym, I'd think to myself, okay, I want to go as well, and I want to start as well. And every day I wouldn't. And this became like a vicious cycle, right? At each morning I see him go out of the house and I think, okay, I will want to start as well. And every day I didn't. And ultimately, what worked for me was the 5 second rule: five, four, three, two, one. Put on your socks, leave. That's what I did. And ever since then, I've been fairly regular. It's been a year and a half now. And it's one of those things that you just don't give your brain the time to fight with you, right? Just leave. Do the task. You know the Nike punchline, just do it. Just do it. And I found that really, really works for me. I've been telling everybody around me to motivate them as well. Don't think about it too much. Just put your socks on, put your shoes on, and leave. You will do something, right? Even if it's 15 minutes on the cross trainer, you'll do something because you have your socks on. Okay, let's go to Miss Neetu. What has your experience been with procrastination?
Thank you, Ms. Anika, for giving me this opportunity. I'm Neetu Agrawal. I'm a project manager with 16 plus years of experience in
Wow.
India and Dubai, delivering IT projects across digital and data. So I always knew that I wanted career growth. I want to do better personal branding for my career growth, but I didn't know where to start. The task felt very complex to me, and I was looking for something perfect, and I actually was not clear what to do. So when I came across Sanjeev Datta's masterclass, so I took the action. So just do it, something I go for that. I borrow it from you. So that is what I did for myself. So though I was 50% sure, I did not look for for something to be perfect. I started my journey, and this is working out great for me. So I'm a great believer of I'm agile coach, so I'm a great believer of breaking tasks into smaller things, and this is what the structure of Sanjeev Datta's masterclass as well. So the tasks are broken down every single weekend, and we have things to be done every single week. So I have been following that diligently every single week, and I'm already in the growth journey. That is how I overcame the procrastination, and that's my journey.
That's
Still
wonderful.
growing.
You know what? I relate with that so much because I am also a perfectionist. I'd like to believe I'm not, and I'm getting better. I'm truly, truly working on it. but deep down, I really am. And that's where I found, even while starting this podcast, I was waiting for myself to be well read, well prepared, done my research, have, a whole kind of setup, already set up. Okay, this is how it's going to be, and this is how it's going to be structured. I wanted everything to be laid down before I started. Biggest mistake of my life. That's where Mr. Sanjeev Datta and his expertise came in. And he said, Anika, you just have to start. Start, and while you're doing it, you will figure it out along the way. Right. And I would like to believe that every time that I've done this, I've gotten slightly better, slightly more natural, slightly more engaging. That's what I would like to believe. So that's the way that you do it. That's how you get better at stuff, by just doing it, right? And not waiting for perfection and the right moment and all of those things first. So I think I very much relate with that. And thank you, Neetu, for sharing your experience. I go now to Ananya.
Hello,
Go ahead, my friend. What do you have to say today?
thank you. My name is Ananya Sahu, and I have 1.5 decade of experience working with IT industry, and I work from Bhubaneswar. So how do I overcome procrastination? I truly believe in this one thought I have read as a child. Procrastination is a thief of time. What does that mean? Is if I do not do something right now, it's going to cost me money at a later point of time. It's going to cost me time at a later point of time. It's going to cost me resources in future. So that works as a source of motivation if I have to do something. And if you think of a long term, you have to see what is the goal I want to achieve over the course of time. And procrastination, it works on guilt. So there are certain number of tasks. There are 10 tasks I need to do. I have completed 7 tasks. There are 3 more tasks which I am still pending. It's still pending in my bucket, and I started feeling guilty. I am a procrastination. What tool I basically use, and it has helped me a lot from past 10, 15 years. I make a table of tasks which shows how urgent they are, how important they are, if it is not urgent, if it's not important. So urgent versus important task, high versus low. So it really helps me prioritize tasks. Task number 4, it is not urgent, I can do it 7 days later. Task number 5, it is super urgent, super important, I have to do it right now. So it has helped me a lot over the course of time. And many people would agree, yeah, it is a big task. We have to break it down into smaller chunks. And something called delayed gratification, that means if I'm focusing on something right now, focus on it for next 60 minutes and take like 5 minutes for 5 minutes rest so that you can enjoy what you deserve. Have a piece of cookie, scroll down to Instagram just for 3 minutes, just for 5 minutes, not beyond that, then you refocus on your task again. So that's how I overcome procrastination, and it has worked wonders for me. That's my take on it.
That's some excellent tips. Thank you so much. I think the biggest thing when it comes to overcoming procrastination is understanding it first, right? I mean, one is productive procrastination. When you've been working on something for a really long time, a big project, a lengthy project, and your mind needs a break, right? So you go take a walk, get some fresh air, relieve your stress. That's procrastination. That's good for you. It gives your brain a break. But that's not the kind of procrastination that we are talking about today. We are talking about the micro procrastinations, scrolling for hours on social media and then realizing at the end of the week how many hours you've wasted, because they all accumulate. Those 2, 3 hours at a stretch, they accumulate. And the most common one is revenge procrastination. Have you heard of it? Revenge procrastination is when you finish your day, you were tired or you were really stressed out, and you spent your entire evening lounging on the couch, maybe watching Netflix, scrolling on social media. You tell yourself that, oh, I was concentrated all day, I deserve a break. So you blow off time, You waste time so that you can get back at your job for making you feel stressed. That is revenge procrastination. And the worst kind is destructive procrastination, when you're actively avoiding something big. It could be your dissertation. It could be an application that you're supposed to fill out. It could be, okay, I want to work on my resume and make it better, and you've been putting it off for weeks. Posting on your YouTube channel or your professional LinkedIn profiles, making sales calls, booking an appointment with a doctor. These are big tasks that you're putting off, right? So, very important to first understand the kind of procrastination that you're doing and identify what you're stressed about. Because as we learned, procrastination is a stress response. So, when you're carrying this backpack of stress on your back the whole day while you're procrastinating, you have to ask yourself, what am I stressed about? It could be your exams. It could be your presentation. It could be your relationship. It could be maybe you're stressed out about your parents and their health. Once, that stress backpack, it's behind you. Once you bring it to the front, it kind of loosens its grip on you. And then you start to understand and realize, okay, this is why I'm being stressed out. Forgive yourself, but at the same time, ask yourself, what would future me want to do right now? Want me to do right now, right? So if you spent 5 hours scrolling on Instagram, definitely scrolling for another 3 hours is not what future self would want, right? What your future self would want is for you to set up your day for tomorrow, pack your lunch, brush your teeth, turn off your TV and mobile, and just have a good night's sleep. This future you could be the future you that wakes up tomorrow morning or the one that wakes up in a couple of months from now. It all depends on your goals. And this is where we circle back to reminding ourselves of the consequences of our actions, right? So these are, in fact, techniques that Dr. Timothy gave in his book. 20 years studying procrastination. That's insane. This man is dedicated. And he said you have to start by forgiving yourself first. That makes it less likely for you to procrastinate again. Studies have shown that, in fact. And the next thing you want to do is identify what you're stressed about. Once you bring that to the forefront, it loses its power, it loosens its grip on you. Number 3, what would future me want me to do right now? And do it. Just do it. And lastly, the 5-second rule. Don't think about it too much, just get to it. Right? So now I'd like to go back to my panelists and talk to them about what is one habit or mindset shift that helped you to take action consistently. Because consistency is the most important. Mr. Krishnamurthy, I'm going to start with you.
Uh, as I believe, motivation is external and discipline is something which is very internal. As you rightly said, break it down into smaller habits, which is achievable. As rightly said, to go to gym, you need to put on your socks first. So just make that as your goal. As simple as that. That if I put on my socks in the morning, I'm off to the gym. So start with putting the socks on.
Start with putting the socks on. That's
Just
genius.
break it down into smaller, achievable tasks. As simple as, say, for example, end of the day, journaling. Just write down, talk to your inner child, saying that what are the good things that you have done today for which you should be giving gratitude to yourself. And what are the things that you could have done better? Just write it down. That self-awareness is also a step towards overcoming, because unless you are not self-aware about things, you will not be able to take actions or put the goals against it to achieve or overcome that. I think these are some smaller steps that we can think about, which is within our control, and make it so small that they are achievable, that you take the very first action. And as you rightly said, Anika, so the moment you get into that action mode, you automatically figure it out as you go along with that journey. The things will unfold itself. you will just, move forward and overcome it. I think this
Absolutely.
simple.
And it's always the first step that's so hard, right, Mr. Krishnamurthy? It's the first step that takes the most effort, right? But even studies have shown once you take that first step, you are more likely to continue. Once you write that first sentence in your dissertation, you're more likely to keep writing. Once you start and open the resume template on your laptop, you're more likely to keep going. You start recording a video for your YouTube channel, you're more likely to keep continuing to record, right? When you have an application to fill out, as soon as you start filling out your name and last name, you're more likely to continue filling out the actual application. So it's the first step that's the most crucial, and all you have to do is just do it. Dr. Sivasankari, what
Yes.
do you think? A habit or mindset shift?
In addition to what you have told, the first step, have an accountability partner.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are matching the thoughts, who are in the same need, we will help each other to drive. For example, with a busy corporate or something, I could not able to come, my accountability partner will come and help. In turn, I will also help. So we grow together as a greater heights. And in this, getting help as a mechanism, who will be the right person to help you also, because the person should feel comfortable to help us and we also should feel comfortable to ask. It could be a professional circle or personal circle who traveled the exact same journey. They will be the best person. Could be a mentor, and I learned a lot of things from Mr. Sanjeev sir class, where it helps talks about the routine. This routine will help us to overcome the procrastination. Put your important task as a part of your routine so that it becomes easy. Face the difficulty again and again. It becomes easy. That's really I want to say. Helping get the help mechanism and accountability partner, having the right mentors around us.
Absolutely. So here is where hiring a coach can also, lead to excellent results, because a coach is a constant accountability partner, right? When you share your goals with them, they help you stay on track. So this is where hiring a coach would be an amazing, amazing thing to do. Apart from that, now this is something that I always do. Okay, accountability partners, yes, definitely. I mostly work with my family, so they are my accountability partners for sure. Another thing that I like to do is I make these public commitments and public declarations that, you know what, I'll have this to you by Friday. And when I've said it in front of the team, I have to do it, right? There's no way for me to procrastinate it, because when you're in this position, you dictate the way that people work. You lead by example. So if I'm not, doubling down on my word, then I'm not setting the right example for my team. So I make these public commitments and public declarations of the work that I'm supposed to do. And most of the time, it helps me stay on track. So, accountability partners and public commitments, I feel like, are a great way to overcome procrastination. Thank you, Dr. Sivasankari. I'll move to Miss Neetu now. Go ahead. Your final takeaway.
Thank you, Anika. I like to summarize everything actually, and
Sure.
I believe accountability partner is very, very, very important, and hiring a coach is very, very important. And I am saying it now after experiencing it by myself. This is not was my belief system if you ask me 3 months back, but with the accountability partner and a coach, you have the continuity, you have regular check-ins. So without regular check-ins, the things will not happen. Taking action is fine, but that will not give you results. For results, regular check-ins are very, very important, and that's what that's my key takeaway for this session. Thank you.
Wonderful. That's excellent. And let's go to Sejo.
Yeah, so from my side, what I've seen is also procrastination is sometimes unintentional. It's not intentional because you don't have focus or you don't know priorities or plans. So it's very important to plan your day, and sometimes it's also important to plan your tomorrow today. So you really know what you need to do. Then if some other task comes, you know whether you can accommodate or no. So you're well prepared for that. And I also follow this Japanese Pomodoro technique as well, where you focus on 25 minutes and then you have 5 minutes where you reward yourself with, you get a break because I'm in IT. So every 25 minutes, maybe I sit and next 25 I stand. So that's actually rewarding. Take your eyes out of the screen. So building that plan and focus, I think, is the key to avoid procrastination. And also, if you are not able to do something this day and if you put it to the next day, that also give you a reflection. Why am I not able to do it? Is it because I need to improve my skills so that I can do it faster? So that also gives you a feedback system where you can become faster. So yeah, those are a few tips. Thanks.
Okay, that's excellent. The Pomodoro technique, I'd completely forgotten about it. And thank you for bringing it to the forefront, Sejo. That's a very powerful technique where you focus on a task for 25 minutes, take a 5-7 minute break, get back to it for 25 minutes, and repeat that until you've reached, 4 times, 4 cycles of 25 minutes. And that's when you can take a nice 30 to 40 minute break. And that really gives your brain enough time to be able to be very productive and yet have a little bit of a break in the middle. And you're very right, Sijo, for repetitive tasks, for IT, for tech. This is an excellent technique to have. Thank you so much. Okay. And now I'd like to go to Ananya. Ananya, what would you like to leave us with?
Yes, I truly believe in pulling to get things done instead of pushing to get things done. So what does that mean is I'm a self-motivated to pull and get things done, or I need some help, some aid, some accountability partner to, sort of push me to get things done. I do use a lot of visual aids to help me do that. For instance, there was an episode where I had to renew my driving license. I know it is important, but it's not super urgent. I have time for that. But things get delayed if I have that mentality. So what I do in such cases is I prepare a poster, put it on my fridge, so so that the poster keeps staring at me. So this is a task that needs to be done in a few days. And like you said, public commitment. Make sure it is not at a discreet place, but it's at a place where everyone can see, but I can see where the poster can look at me. And that's how I overcome procrastination and get things done. I know we all are human. Not every day we feel self-motivated, but these are the few episodes where you need sort of push things to get things done, and visual posters, visual aids are super useful to get things done.
I completely
That's my
agree. And myself as well, whenever I have to, because I'm a list maker, love making lists for everything. So whenever I know that I have a lot of tasks to do, I take sticky notes and I stick them on my laptop. I know I will see my laptop every day, right? There's no way around it. So whenever I open my laptop, there are sticky notes on there that tell me, okay, this is what you're supposed to do, and it's unavoidable. So excellent thing, having a
Yeah.
poster that's staring at you.
Yes, and the best thing, Anika ma'am, is that a fridge without any notes. That's the best feeling I have.
Oh,
I
yes.
just,
That's wonderful.
yeah.
All right. So, everybody, first of all, I'd like to invite our listeners to submit their procrastination challenges in the chat or in the comments, because we've learned that small steps, tackling big tasks first, or eating the frog, and addressing emotional barriers can really help you break that procrastination cycle. We've discussed a lot of strategies today, and I want all of you to apply to a task that you have been avoiding. Please share your progress with us in the comments or on our social media. And we've unpacked the art of overcoming procrastination with some incredible stories and strategies from our panelists. And I hope that you're able to pick at least one strategy that we discussed, because these all come from experiences, real life experiences of very experienced people, right? So share your progress and remember that, progress beats perfection every single time. It's something that I'm learning as well. Take that first step and you're already unstoppable. So until next time, keep moving forward. Take care.